Hey, and welcome into the NWGA Al Smith Alpha Insurance Friday night scoreboard. Week 6 is in the books, halfway through the year.
Halfway already.
It's crazy, man. We'll jump on the scores here. We'll, like I said, if you want to join in, get your comments live on the air. You can join us on X, Facebook, YouTube. But we'll run through the scores here. Carrollton and Parker. Last score we saw was 46-35 with about 7 minutes to go.
Something like that. I can find out for you, but
yeah, McEachern beat Paulding County 67-7. Cherokee over North Paulding 49-28. East Paulding 19. New Manchester 6. Rome 59-0 over Alexander. Villarica 38-14 over South Paulding, and Central with a big win tonight, 70-6 over Mundy Mill.
Ooh.
Cartersville with a 55-7 win over Woodland. Cedartown shut out Cass 36-0. Altoona 42, Dalton 29. Mount Zion of Jonesboro 27, Southeast 0. Pickens with a big win, 35-23 over Dawson County. Lumpkin County beats Chastity 49-25. North Hall over White County 35-21. Daresville 44-13 over Lafayette. Northwest Whitfield has a big second half, beats Gilmer 38-10. Ridgeland, man, almost pulls off the upset of the decade. I think they were huge underdogs in that game. Heritage hung on 24-21. Rockmart beat Color Creek 35-7. Ringgold 41-27 over LFO. Sonoraville 49-6 over Murray County. And Union County with the upset 21-0 over North Murray. Bremen shuts out Model 31-0. Darlington comes back in the second half to beat Haralson County 21-16. Temple with a big win to open up the region, 49-28 at Pepperell. Chattooga 49-7 over Armurchie. Christian Heritage 35-20 over Gordon Lee. And Gordon Central shuts out Coosa 30-0. Fannin County with a big win at Dade, 44-0. Pike County beats Mount Zion 28-18, and Tryon beats Robbinsville, North Carolina 34-28 in overtime.
Speaking of that game, got an early nominee for Play of the Year. Stokes, they throwing the ball his direction. He was playing defensive end, obviously. Tipped it straight up in the air and intercepted it in overtime to end the game. And not to mention, as he was coming to the sideline, he sailed the ball about 20 rows deep into the into the stands, which is awesome. But probably going to be frowned upon.
That sounds like
staff, but but what a play! Day in the game.
How about this question here, man? What does Fannin County look like this year? I don't even know where to begin.
You're going to find out soon if they're coming your way, because it sounds like it was a pretty close game early, and they just wore day down and just took over. I watched some of it, and this guy says,
I know they're playing. They're playing pretty. Cook at Chattooga still running up 27. Can't pull them over. The 200-yard game of the season so far. Is that his fifth?
Yeah, I believe so. Trying to think. I know his.
Well, we figure he's got 1,300 yards so far, averaging 10 plus yards a carry.
1328 so far on 104 carries, 12.7 yards per attempt right now. Tonight he was 15 carries for 268 yards. This was the third game this season that Chattooga's had 2 ball carriers over 100 yards. Corey Gibson with another 100-plus yard game as well. So
Was there any of those scores that jump out at you right off the bat?
Yeah, down in a couple of them, Temple pulling away from Pepperell. Bremen able to still. Obviously, we know the Bremen defense is really good, but 31-0 over Model. That's pretty stiff. I know you said Christian Heritage got out to a 21-0 lead on Gordon Lee. I wasn't able to watch any of that early, but 35-20 is a pretty convincing win. And then Gordon Central back on the winning ways, 30-0 over Coosa. I was surprised by that. Must have got the ball to some of their playmakers and got a good win at home. I think the first win at home in some time for Gordon Central.
Yeah, and I think too that's possibly the third shutout on the year for Gordon Central.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the game that stood out to me was the Darlington game. I know Haralson County was up 9-0 at halftime. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, man. I don't really know that much about Darlington or Haralson County at this point in the season, but Darlington was able to come back and win 21-16. But they must be playing some good ball down at Haralson County.
Yeah, exactly. That's Haralson County is one of those teams that's in our area, but we don't see a lot of. I know our boy Matt from WLAQ that does the is that the station out of Rome that does all that. I know he calls for Darlington as well, and this was his first time going to Haralson County. I liked Haralson County. I liked the atmosphere there. It's kind of down in the hole there. Nice jumbotron, really good sound system. Fun place to go watch a game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That 6A South is tough, man. I mean, we had Haralson County at the bottom to start the year, and if they're playing well, I mean, you can't take off there.
Yeah, I don't see a game that you can take off. I agree.
Jake Keller says Carrollton is showing out on national TV. Impressive win.
Yeah, it just went final, and it was 48-26 was the final. I'll update that.
Yeah, we'll run through these.
48-26.
We'll run through these scores again here for all those. Just jumping in. Carrollton, like we said, we just mentioned that one. 48-26 at Parker, Alfa on ESPN2.
Yeah.
McEachern 67-7 over Paulding County. We said that Paulding County was going to have a tough row. I mean, from here on out with those Cobb County schools. Cherokee, Little Surprise in here, 49-28 over North Paulding. East Paulding 19-6 over New Manchester, maybe a little closer than some expected. Rome with a huge win over Alexander, 59-0. The Wolves are playing right now. Villarico with a big win, 38-14 over South Paulding. Central lighting up the scoreboard, 70-6 over Monday's Mill. Cartersville, 55-7 over Woodland. Cedartown with a shutout of Cass, 36-0. Dalton was actually in this game at halftime. It was 14-14. Altoona pulled away in the second half, 42-29. Mount Zion of Jonesboro, 27. Southeast Whitfield, 0. Pickens gets a region win with a 35-23 win over Dawson County. Lumpkin County, 49-25 over Chastity. North Hall, man, tough North Hall team. Beat White County 35-21. Adairsville 44-13 Lafayette. I'm thinking Adairsville travels to Calhoun next Friday night. That'll be a huge game. Northwest Whitfield 38-10 over Gilmer. Heritage hangs on, man. Originally trying to pull the upset. 24-21. Rockmart 35, Cahulla Creek 7. Ringgold 41-27. I guess they're glad to go to overtime. Sonoraville 49-6 over Murray County. And Union County beats North Murray 21-0. Bremen shuts out Model 31-0. Darlington 21-16 over Haralson County. Temple, big win to open Region 6A, 49-28 over Pepperell. Chattooga 49-7 over Armurchie. Christian Heritage beats Gordon Lee 35-20. Gordon Central shuts out Coosa 30-0. Fannin, big win at Dade County, 44-0. Pike County beats Mount Zion 28-18. And Trine beats Robbinsville, North Carolina in overtime. I think 35-28 was the score I saw.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you end up going to a game tonight?
Like I said, if you have any comments, man, yeah, I saw a little bit of the Cedartown game. We'll head back to the house, get ready to go to work tonight. But yeah, I mean, the Bulldogs look good. You know, Cass was out there starting quarterback. I mean, you can't make any excuses there. They have a real good backup in Elijah Slocum. Just made a lot of mistakes in the special teams that Cedartown was able to capitalize on. That Cedartown, Hiram, Cartersville trifecta is going to be huge. It's going to be a nice little round robin in there.
It is going to be a big one.
Speaking of a round robin, man, how about the Chattooga Fannin Christian Heritage round robin? That's going to be huge at the end of the year.
You know, contrasting styles, especially, you know, like Chattooga versus, say, Christian Heritage. You know, what's Christian Heritage going to do with the run game, and what's Chattooga going to do with that passing attack? It's going to be fun. Going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, Jake Keller says a big credit to Union County. Said North Murray didn't show up in a big way and laid an egg. You know, I heard Hudson Hewlett, starting quarterback for North Murray, had to be taken off early in that game. I'm sure that didn't help him on the offensive side, but
yeah, that hurt.
Union County, man. I think I think Brooks mentioned it the other day, man. That's going to be a tough place to play for any team traveling up there in the mountains this year.
That's true.
Yeah. So what? From the results tonight, man, the 6A results. Who do you? I mean, did you see anything that surprises you that makes you change your top pick for the 6A?
No, I mean,
we haven't seen Heard County in action or region play yet. I think Heard.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of expected a little more out of Pepperell. You know, I think we've talked about it off air, but we really hadn't said anything on air, and maybe somebody knows. But yeah, I hadn't seen the Rogers kid running the ball much lately. With him not there, it takes away that big play ability. Not saying that other people can't, but you know, you're just used to seeing Pepper be able to pop that 60-yard touchdown run and you know, kind of flip the script, change the game a little bit. But that was one game that, you know, was interesting to me. And then, you know, Haralson County being you know, hanging tough. You know, Haralson has a game on the road at Heard County next week. See if they can. They'll probably be underdogs against Heard County. They could go down there and see if they can upset them. But
yeah, you always have to be careful of that Temple offense, man. Temple could put some points on the board. We saw that tonight, you know, with the athletes they have down there. And, you know, you have to pencil in Temple and Heard and Bremen right now as the top three in that 6A region.
yeah, and then, you know, where do you put Darlington? You know, Darlington, obviously a private school, but right in there in the mix in that region currently. What about the other region? What about 7A?
How about the set?
Is that
I mean, that's a Fannin, Chattooga, Christian Heritage trifecta right now. You know, I mean, you had to put Fannin at the top with the performance they had tonight. I know we talked about it earlier in the week when I put that spread up 30 points. Man, it just looked crazy huge, you know. I didn't think there was any way they could go into Magic Morgan and win by 30 points. But they completely proved me wrong tonight.
Yeah, I didn't get to see all the game, but I watched some of the first half, and to hear 44 to nothing final, I mean, it wasn't indicative of what I was watching. So I don't know. I've got to go back and watch the rest of the game, I guess, to see what Fannin was able to do in the second half against Dade. I mean, heck, that's a lot of points put up.
Yeah, that's a great job that Coach Gregory has done up there at Gordon Central this year. Three wins already, probably more than they've had in the last 7 or 8 years combined.
Yep, 3-2. Yep.
Now, what about that 7A region? I mean, you pretty much think it's Rockmart and North Cobb Christian. Last game of the
Well,
year, I think.
that's what it looks like. I think schedule makers got it right there, making that the last game of the year. But Rockmart kind of flexed a little bit this week, which we thought they would. They've been playing a real tough schedule, and I think now getting in the region play is when they'll start putting some more points up on the board.
Yeah, we'll find out about Calhoun next Friday night in region play. I think they hosted Ayersville. That'll be a huge game in that region. I mean, a lot of people think that'll be for the region championship in 7 AAA.
Yeah, Calhoun is another one of those teams that's played kind of a tough schedule, and once they get into region play, how does that bode? Calhoun's sitting at 1-3, Daresville sitting at 4-1, and Calhoun obviously played the tougher of the schedule. So I'm looking at next week's games. Ridgeland and Lafayette both sitting at 0-5. Somebody is getting a win next week. It'll be Ridgeland at Lafayette.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and see that game tonight, man. See how they were able to hang with Heritage. I mean, see if they almost pulled it
Yeah,
out. That was huge. I think they were like 38-point underdogs going into that game, and
yeah,
that would have scared
broke
Heritage
the
tonight.
record, right? That would have broke the record for the largest upset win.
Yeah, that definitely would have broke the record. Have y'all talked about the Trine game yet? I didn't see any of it. I know they won in overtime. Benton mentioned Stokes play at the end of the game.
Yeah, it looked like it come down to Robertsville had a pretty good sized line of scrimmage, and they also had some their skill players had good size as well. And I heard there was a very interesting, like an onside kick or something that happened. I did not get to watch that. I'll go back and watch. Uh, Maybe a questionable call or something like that from what I heard. And then I did see the last play of the game where Trine had scored, kicked the extra point. Robbinsville was trying to score the match and threw a pass a little too low, and it was tipped up by Logan Stokes, and he intercepted the ball. And like I said, he he disposed of it into the stands in celebratory fashion, which was pretty awesome. Like I said, I don't know if his coaches are going to love that, but great finish. Exactly what we expected. When we kind of drummed this game up, a couple of us, sent kind of matched the coaches up and said, "Hey, maybe we can figure out something here." And instant classic.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun trip for them next year, heading up into the mountains up there.
Yeah, I'll have to send coach a message after this and see what he says about the matchup.
When is the big Trine Bowden matchup? I know Trine goes to Manchester next Friday night. That'll be huge, but
Trine Bowden is the final week of the season. I can tell you
there'll
that.
be a lot of fun games that final week.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Trine Bowden's that week. Trying to think of who else is that last week of the year, week of the season, excuse me. Will that be? Is that November
think you got-
1st? Is that the last week?
I think you got North Cobb Christian and Rockmart possibly.
Let's see here. Last week of the season. I'm clicking on it just to see. Murray and Lakeview. That'll be an interesting game. Rockmart and North Murray that week. Coahulla Creek, Ringo, North Cobb, and Union. That'll be the November 1st. Now, some teams have a bye the last week, so pretty sure I thought I seen where Chattooga did. So that'll be very interesting. A bye before the playoff starts.
That Carrollton Douglas County game would be a huge week 10. You know, I thought at the start of the year that would be a close game. The way Carrollton's playing right now, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
I think if you're a Carrollton fan, you can go ahead and make your plans for the Bends and go ahead and get a room down there for the weekend.
Okay, here we go. Here's what happened. The Willingham called for a fair catch on a punt, called it, squatting down at the same time. Ref blew it dead instantly, but as he did, the ball popped out. Robbinsville recovered, but because of the inadvertent whistle, it had already blown dead. It was comparable to a bang-bang play at first base. I got you. So since the whistle was blown, the play had to end there. So I'm guessing they gave the ball to Trine, and Robbinsville was upset by it. I'm getting a text from. I'm getting a text. Coach Gable says they played Coosa at home on November 1st. So no, they don't have a bye week November 1st. I think it might have been last year. I don't know. I know one year they had a bye the very last game of the season. Thanks for listening, Coach Gable. You should hop on here and talk to us.
He said they were fired up.
Oh, I bet so. Play, I bet so.
They called it dead. All right, we'll run through these scores one more time for all the new people who've jumped in. If you see anything surprising, man, give us a message there. We'll get you on the air. Carrollton beat Alabama on ESPN2 tonight. McEachern 67-7 over Paulding County. Cherokee 49-28 over North Paulding. East Paulding 19-6 over New Manchester. Rome shuts out Alexander 59-0. Villa Rica 38-14 over South Paulding. Central continues to put up points 70-6 over Mundy's Mill. Cartersville 55-7 over Woodland. Cedartown shuts out Cass 36-0. Alatoona 42, Dalton 29. Mount Zion of Jonesboro 27, Southeast Whitfield 0. Pickens with a big win at Dawson County 35-23. Lumpkin County beat City 49-25. North Hall 35-21 over White County. Adairsville 44-13 over Lafayette. Northwest Whitfield with a big second half to beat Gilmer 38-10. Heritage over Ridgeland 24-21. Rockmart 35-7 over Coahulla Creek. Ringgold beats LFO 41-27. Sonoraville 49-6 over Murray County. Union County beats North Murray 21-0. Bremen shuts out Model in the Battle of the Blue Devils 31-0. Darlington 21-16 over Haralson County. Temple goes to Lindale and pulls out a 49-28 win over the Dragons. Chattooga keeps rolling, man. 49-7 over Armurchie. Christian Heritage 35-20 over Gordon Lee. Gordon Central with another shutout 30-0 over Coosa. Bannon, big win at Dade 44-0. Pike County 28, Mount Zion 18, and Robbinsville and Trine gets a overtime win 35-28.
Yeah, I'm going to pop on that Dade County Fannin game as soon as we get off here just to see how that second half went.
Yeah, because the score was what, 14-0 at halftime? I mean, it was fairly close, right?
Yeah, and at one point I think I heard that Fannin had an interception in their own end zone. So I mean, Dade had drove with an attempt to score, but didn't get it done. Last couple games, Dade's been had a new quarterback back there. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I actually watched the first quarter of the Dade Christian Heritage game from last week, and I thought they played pretty well. I mean, Dade came out and drove the ball down the field first series and scored a touchdown, and so I'm
Yeah,
sure
it seemed
Dade's
like
a
the
very,
third
very
quarter.
dangerous team going forward.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, not a team you want to overlook because I mean, as the season goes, they're just getting more and more pissed that they don't have W's. You know what I mean? And so they're going to be getting some. I'm telling you. All righty.
Well, all right, man. I believe that concludes our show for the night. Let's go work a little bit, and we'll be back on Wednesday, man, for the Week 7 Pick'em Show. Thanks to Al Smith, our sponsor, man, Alfa Insurance. Glad he's a part of the Friday night scoreboard.
Yeah,
We'll be back on
big
Wednesday night.
games next week.